Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 7 of Uncle Jackie's Gumbo, the Alpha and the Omega holidays. This week's theme is the Alpha and Omega holidays. Alpha and Omega mean the beginning and the end. Here we are, and the coronavirus is reaching another peak because we're in flu season. The pandemic is reaching an all-time high. In the United States alone, we're losing about 3,000 people a day. And they're trying to get this vaccine out as fast as they possibly can to the frontline workers, and then everybody else is just going to have to wait their turn. And I think it's going to go to like people in nursing homes and other folks as well, and then it's going to go out to the general population. But this batch from Pfizer is expensive. It's very, very expensive because it's got to be kept cold. In fact, it's got to be frozen, then put into another freezer, and then distributed. So, but Pfizer has 95% percentile rating in terms of effectiveness. Now, Merck has got another one that's not as effective as the Pfizer, but I think that when they get to the general pop, which will probably be in March of 2021, that they're probably going to distribute the Merck because the Pfizer is very expensive. Now, I have a very small Christmas tree in my room. It is a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, and every year I buy a new mini string of lights lit by battery, and it lights up the area. There's a little crib scene. There's 2 American Indian dream catchers, but they're Christian Native American dream catchers. One is for hope and the other one is for peace. Now, for those of you that don't know what a dream catcher is, it's basically like a big hula hoop. It's a big hula hoop, and then there's this rope that's webbed inside the hula hoop. And if you keep that near your bed, allegedly what it does is it captures, the bad dreams. It prevents you from having bad dreams. These 2, which are authentic, which are actually made by Navajos, Christian Navajos, are supposed to stimulate dreams of peace and dreams of hope. And I think that's what we need right now more than ever, the dreams of peace and dreams of hope. I think we're in the midst of Hanukkah, and then that's going to be rolling right into Christmas. I see more and more people putting lights in front of their house. Most I could usually come up with is like a little string, but the way I rope it around the post in front of my house, it looks seasonal and it looks good. If you see it from a distance, you look close up, then it doesn't look too good. But if you back up from it, and it's like an impressionist type of thing. The further away you are from it, then the picture comes into focus of what I'm trying to do, which is to be festive. But we have a neighbor that decorates every year, and they have reindeer and this, and several of the other houses have joined in putting up light decorations, and then the house next to them put up a light show. That's incredible. On this Tuesday, the 15th, which is my 65th birthday, if I'm still around and I haven't taken myself to an emergency room and I got to get some type of emergency surgery, I still think the problem is with my pancreas because of the burn that I experienced just before pooping. Let's just put it that way. So let's hear it for pooping. Let's hear it for light shows. Let's hear it for decorative Christmas lights and Hanukkah lights. Let's hear it for the beginning of the end of COVID-19. Let's hear it for the beginning of the end of the pandemic. So it's like other countries, well, okay, England last week started distributing their vaccine to their general population. And I know that's going to take a while. They'll do it in an orderly fashion, but they don't have, you know, half as many people as we got. I mean, you know, the United States has got 300 million people. We're always losing people every day, and then people being born. But right now, we're losing more people that are being born because of COVID-19. This last week, there was an actress in New Orleans, a very famous actress, stage and screen. She was an African American, Miss Carol Sutton. And our hearts and prayers go out to her and her family and other loved ones because she contributed so much to the arts. She was just as good as any national actress and has been on many, like, you know, national commercials and been on many movies. And so she would be quite recognizable, quite a talent here in New Orleans. Sad loss. She contracted COVID-19. I think she was like 75, and she was struggling to stay alive, but she lost her battle, unfortunately. And that's what we're dealing with right now. I mean, it's like we're walking this tightrope. Let's hear it for the tightrope. Oh boy, yeah, the tightrope. Alpha Omega holidays plus tightrope. You're walking this tightrope, and over the Niagara Falls, and the wind is blowing. So that's analogous to what we're doing here with COVID-19. Myself particularly, I still got to go to the grocery store to pick up groceries. I still got to get out the house daily because I just have to get out the house. But I ride the streetcar, I'll go to a restaurant to get something to eat. I mean, I got food at home. A lot of the food I used to eat, I can't eat anymore. I used to have this system down for what I could eat. Every night I would have like either a piece of steak or a piece of fish with a nice salad. Sometimes I'd make a very, very good soup, but I can't eat half of the stuff that I used to cook, unfortunately, because I'm a pretty good cook. I used to use balsamic vinegar. I can't touch that. I used to use lots and lots of lemon juice. I enhance it with lemon juice. I'd make my own salad dressing, absolutely delicious. Make my own soups. I'd cook the meat or the fish in the enhancer, and I was like, I had it all, and I had a good plan too. And I'd always like top it off with a nice cold apple and a oatmeal cookie. But the oatmeal cookie has stuff in it that would also inflame me, so I can't touch that. So all of us are walking a tightrope. I'm walking a strange type of tightrope. Things were better before, of course. It was after COVID-19 broke out that this internal organ problem developed in me, and I was doing much better then. Much more upbeat, much more positive. I'm trying to be upbeat right now. The reason I'm recording this is because I can't get to sleep, and so I said I'm going to just do this, record this. So, what I was going to talk about last week after Thanksgiving was in terms of a recipe, because I always give a recipe every week, is turkey caucus stew. Because I was going to say, okay, well, Thanksgiving is over. Most of us have eaten our leftovers, but then what would probably remain, and then we could apply this to Christmas, because a lot of people are going to get turkey or chicken or some kind of bird. So after you finish eating the turkey, and a lot of people do get turkey for Christmas as well, is after you've eaten off of it, you're going to have the caucus. So don't throw it away. You could take that, put it into a pressure cooker, and you put about 7 of your favorite vegetables along with some olive oil and your preferred seasonings. And then you fill it up, I think, 3/4 with water, put it in a pressure cooker, and have that brown rice ready, because then what happens is the remaining meat and then the bones also the remaining meat off the carcass of the bird falls off, and then the bones boil from the turkey, and then it coagulates and it forms this delicious sauce that goes into your turkey stew or your chicken stew. But again, you got to enhance it with a whole bunch of chopped up vegetables. That could be carrots and celery, spinach, you name it. Whatever is your favorite vegetable. Put about 5 or 6 different of your favorite vegetables in that pressure cooker, along with the chicken or the turkey carcass. If you don't think there's enough meat, then you could take a little piece of steak, cut it up into small pieces, and drop it in there. And after you've worked it over in the pressure cooker, then you got this delicious turkey and or chicken stew with all of these vegetables, and it should come out thick. Now I've been learning to thicken it with hummus instead of flour. Now I could still eat hummus, but I got to be very careful about what type of hummus, because some hummus has a lot of seasoning in it, and I can't eat that either. I can't drink coffee. I love coffee. I'm from New Orleans. We have, coffee shipped here every day from South America. Coffee beans, fresh coffee beans, but I can't touch it. No alcohol. There's so many things I can't touch that I used to love that I can't do anymore right now. I don't know if I'll ever will. I just hope that I will. I mean, the type of medicine that I'm taking, what it's supposed to do, it's supposed to buy time for my stomach to reform the mucus lining. But I'm of the ilk that it's something more than just acid reflux. I tell my sister, and she's got acid reflux, so she projects out of her mind that I have what she has, but she's wrong. So she keeps on saying, well, take Tums. 1,000 Tums won't help what I got. My problem is lower intestine. And it's a problem. It's like a slow burn. I mean, I have a lot of faith in the Lord, and I've been praying. I'm reminded of St. Joan of Arc, because she was burned at the stake in Lyon, France, and she wouldn't trade in her beliefs. I'm not trading my beliefs in, but I have a burn too, and I'm stuck in this body, and it's burning, but it's like it's a slow burn every night. But now the burn's extending into the day. The way I overcome it is at some point I go jump in the shower, then put on my clothes and just start walking out the door. And so I'm like taking myself Uber from it, The problem is still existing way down there, but when I take a shower and and get out the door and start walking, it's like I'm extending, pushing myself above it, at least for temporarily. When I get home and I settle down and I sit in a chair and I watch TV for about an hour, then the burn comes back up again, particularly if I had food that particular day. So, Alpha and Omega holidays. Those of us that survive and are around long enough to get the immune shots, the vaccine against COVID-19, we're still going to have to wear masks. We're still going to have to wash our hands. And we're still going to have to social distance. Primarily because we're going to have to pay attention to the numbers. The governments are going to be paying attention to the numbers. And so, when your community, like New Orleans, we spiked at the beginning of COVID, and we brought up our numbers way, way down. So then they gave us a lot of freedom. So then you could start going to restaurants and bars and all that kind of stuff. But now we were at level 3, but now we're back to level 2 because of the spike. And this spike isn't going to go away. I mean, it's just growing exponentially. It's just getting way out of hand. Then it brings us back to previous shows about survival of the fittest. They talk about this herd immunity. I don't know if I'm buying into that. Herd is like a group of cows, and it's all theoretical. That's, I think, for a regular biological disease. This COVID-19 was invented in a laboratory in China, part of biological warfare, and they did a number on it, and it's affected most of the Western capitalist countries in a most adverse way. I mean, COVID-19 was successful in its objective, which is to break down a society, because we had to socially separate. We're still socially separated, particularly in New Orleans. And New Orleans really, really did a number on our musicians, because the musicians can't perform in all of the bars and venues that they did, because you can't have people inside. So, I mean, a lot of the musicians have been fortunate in that, not a lot of them, but a few of them have been fortunate in that they've elected to perform live on video. Then you could catch them online. The LPO, which is the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra, has you actually sold subscriptions so that you could watch them live online performing from the performance hall. And I know that they figure out a way that they can perform and socially separate in a safe way. But all the other musicians are just really, really out of luck, because they don't have a venue. They're willing. We have in my neighborhood a group of very creative and inventive people. Over the summer, we had one of our neighbors. She's got a big porch, and she was having street concerts where the band was up on the porch. Every 2 weeks we had one on Saturday nights, and it was incredible, just wonderful. Now we got a bass player down the block. His girlfriend is a nurse who works with COVID-19 patients, and he's a bass player. And so every Wednesday night, one of the bands that he plays with, and he plays with a whole bunch of bands, performed in the backyard. So they had a backyard concert last Wednesday, and I attended it, and it was wonderful. It was it was called the Cigar Box Band, Cigar Box. So, Cigar Box Band. Let's hear it for the Cigar Box Band. Yay! You could look them up online. You could Google them. Cigar box band. Apparently, it's a trend all over the United States. They're not very, very big, but the ones that are around are very, very good. So they actually had a guitar, and the body was made out of a cigar box, a huge cigar box, but it's a real cigar box, and it's an electric guitar. So they put on the frets, and connected to a cigar box, and the cigar box has the electronic pickups and all the strings. Now this guy that played the guitar, he played his cigar box guitar. He was very, very good. He wasn't just playing 3 or 4 chord songs. He was playing Duke Ellington arrangements, which are very, very complicated, and he had them all memorized. So there was also a drum, but the drum was made of found objects. So it was like containers. There was a paint container. There was a jug, a huge 5-gallon water jug that had some rattling things connected to it, so you get a sound out of that. And then he had a huge plastic container with a pedal that he can make it use as a bass drum. But this guy was very good. He was kind of drummer. He could take a couple of spoons and make a good sound out of it. But for all due purposes, it was a complete drum set, and he was very good. He took several solos, and he's just whipping up on that thing. It was a stand-up bass, and which was made out of a shelf from a chest of drawers, and it had a PCV pipe through it, and another pipe with the strings attached, and hookups, electrical hookups. And this was the guy who lives in our neighborhood, who plays with a whole bunch of bands. He's in high demand because he's an excellent bass player. Before COVID-19, he was traveling all over the world. He's in high demand because he's an excellent bass player. So the lead guitar player, who's a really good lead guitar player, was playing these Duke Ellington arrangements, and the bass player was keeping right up with him, right along with the drummer. So this bass player, he plays with several bands. We're going to see if he's going to have a concert on Wednesday, and hopefully I'll be around. I don't know if I'm going to have to go to an emergency room or not, because this is going on day 2 of severity of pain internally. Right now I'm sitting up in my kitchen and I'm feeling okay, but it's still a terrible, terrible feeling, and I just haven't been able to get good rest or good sleep. And I'm concerned because I'm 60. I'll be 65 on Tuesday, and my health is just not doing too well right now. So I'm going to continue to record these things as long as I can. It sounds pessimistic, but it's like, besides the COVID-19 thing, I got this internal organ problem, and I'm a semi-retired. I'm okay in terms of things that you need to take care of yourself, but I just really wish that right now I had my health, and I've been, putting myself on prayer lines and everything else like that. But it's just having too much time on my hands, and also in dealing with the COVID thing. I'm so happy that the vaccine's finally going to be released. So I'm wishing everybody just have a very happy and healthy Christmas, New Year's, and Hanukkah. Stay safe. Even though the vaccine's being released, we still got to socially separate. Unfortunately, it's been just such a long, arduous road, and I know that some people are going through really, really a rough time. I mean, I lost my job, but I'm going into early retirement, and so Social Security's kicking in along with my Medicare. Thank God for that. But when you don't have your health, man, you just don't have anything. And so, it's like what I'm saying. I still got to go to the store, got to go to the restaurant, ride the streetcar, and then, you just turn your head. Someone sneezes, you get exposed to the wrong thing, and all of a sudden, bammo, you got COVID-19. And, if you're in the general population, well, we're not going to probably see our vaccine until March. So it's still like walking a tightrope, alpha and omega of the holidays, the beginning of the end. So try to stay fit, try to stay alive, do the best that you can to stay alive. Don't be letting your guard down and mix. Try to stay alive, stick it in there until you can get that immune shot, so you can get that vaccine from the COVID-19 and live your life, and we can move on from this. It's been a terrible, terrible thing. Absolutely, a very, very terrible thing. I mean, for some it's been a blessing, and then for others it's a terrible thing. And just wish everybody well, and God bless you. And we're gonna finish with a different song than we usually. I'm finishing with Roy Rogers' "Happy Trails to You," but I'm still gonna say, may the Lord take a liking to you. Well, let me do both songs. I'm going to do Happy Trails and then another song that's appropriate for the season. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Doesn't really matter about the weather. Everything is fine so long as we're together. Happy trails to you till we meet again. So this is Uncle Jackie with Uncle Jackie's Gumbo. A little bit of this and a whole lot of that. Signing off. But first, we have a song of the season. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He knows when you are sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah, yeah. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Okay, y'all. Take care. God bless. Keep safe. Keep alive. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Socially spaced. Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. God bless.